If you would like to learn how to make delicious homemade bread that is healthy in less than 1 hour, you have to watch this video. Hi and welcome back to another video with Bit Healthier. I'm so excited about this video. We are making a homemade bread, fig and walnuts soda bread. This is so delicious and healthier and plant-based version of a traditional Irish soda bread. Not just that it's healthier, but it's so full of flavor. It's so soft inside. It has this crunchy crust. You don't need a special tools. There's no prerequisite knowledge that you need. You just have to follow simple instructions that I have prepared for you and wait for 1 hour. And you will end up with the most delicious bread that will impress everybody. So if you're ready to do this, let's dive into the recipe. All right. Let's start by preparing a baking sheet. Line it with a parchment paper and set aside. Also, preheat your oven to toasty 420 degrees Fahrenheit. The recipe comes together quickly, so we want to make sure that we are prepared. Measure 1 cup of raw walnuts and roughly chop them and then set them aside in a small bowl. Measure 1 cup of dried figs. First, discard the tough top part and then chop the rest of the figs into small pieces. Then add chopped figs into the bowl with the walnuts and then toss in a little bit of the flour to ensure that the pieces stay separate during the baking. Okay, that is it for the prep. Now we move to making bread. Grab a bigger bowl and add following ingredients. 1 3/4 cup or 210 grams of whole wheat flour, 1 1/4 cup or 175 grams of whole grain spelt flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a cup or 45 grams of rolled oats. Then add our chopped figs and walnuts and finally mix in 2 cups plus 3 tablespoons or 500 grams of plant-based yogurt. I've been looking for a good plant-based yogurt for quite some time now. So Kite Hill is currently my favorite one because of its ingredients and macronutrients, but in my opinion, it's a little bit pricey. So I'm just curious if you have your favorite plant-based yogurt and found something that works for you, please let me know in comments. Back to recipe, mix all the ingredients together first with a spatula and then probably with your hands into a wet dough. Do not worry about it being a little bit messy. Just flour your hands and then shape the dough into a ball and place it onto our prepared baking sheet. This is why we prepared it, so now when we have a sticky hands with the dough on top of them, everything is ready for us. Using a kitchen knife or bench scraper, mark a large, deep cross across the center of the loaf, scoring about 2/3 of the way down. Then sprinkle the loaf with a little bit more flour and finish with a generous sprinkling of the oats. This adds such a nice touch to the final look of the loaf. Bake your loaf for 40 to 45 minutes. I suggest you check after 40 minutes. The loaf should sound hollow when you tap the base of it. Then allow the loaf to cool for 5 minutes before transferring to a cutting board if you're enjoying it right away. I recommend you enjoy it slightly warm with your favorite spread. I love to eat it on its own, but it's super delicious with plant-based cream cheese. So good. So good. Traditionally, it is served with butter. I don't often consume butter sometimes in baking, but I don't really spread butter. I'm not gonna judge you if you do that. But this recipe and this bread is so delicious on its own. Sometimes we back home, we say that bread is as tasty as a cookie. So kind of like you can eat it on its own because of just, there's so much joy in fresh made bread. And if you've never tried it, I really, really hope you do use this recipe to try it for the first time. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I will link a playlist with all the other amazing baked goods that we have, and I hope you check it out. And I'll see you in the next video.